becoming reality. One Bryant Park is set to be one of the most environmentally friendly sky. Build our future. It's 8 a.m. in the center of Manhattan. When complete, One Bryant Park will tower 365 meters above Manhattan's streets, second only to the Empire State Building as the tallest skyscraper in New York City. To do that, they must build the structure 288 meters high and then top it off with a 78-meter spire, one of the largest spires ever erected in the city. But the building's biggest achievement will not be its height. One Bryant Park is said to be one of the greenest skyscrapers in the world. Its combined green features will be unprecedented. It's an ambitious plan to have so many energy-saving systems combined into one skyscraper. And it's the brainchild vision. One Bryant Park is out to tackle a big problem. Buildings account for nearly 40% of total U.S. energy consumption. Each of these buildings need energy for lights, elevators, phones, computers, faxes, air conditioners, and running water round the clock. It's a problem that the Bank of America, Cook's vision, One Bryant Park, will combine multiple cutting-edge methods to save energy and resources. First, ventilation. A state-of-the-art system will take in air, clean it, circulate it through the tower, then expel it back out into the city. Next, recycled water. An advanced reclamation system will collect all rainwater that falls onto its roofs, storing it in large gray water tanks. The rainfall will be reused throughout the tower to help supply water systems for the skyscraper. Then, glass. A new crystalline facade will help keep the heat out, lowering dependence on interior lighting and air conditioning, saving on electricity. Building his vision is not an easy task. Midtown Manhattan. Extraordinary challenges. Especially at the corner of 42nd Street and 6th Avenue, one of the busiest intersections in the city. To start off, the crews must dig one of the deepest foundations. Blasting in Manhattan is forbidden.
42nd Street and another subway line coming up and down 6th Avenue. Buildings all around the area.
It took almost a year of excavation. By July 2005, the foundation was finally complete. Almost 2 years later, the building stands 48 stories high. That's over 200 meters above the streets. With 7 floors left to go, they're almost at the top. To be one of the most environmentally efficient skyscrapers in the world, One Bryant Park will embody state-of-the-art green systems from surface to core. Today's schedule, lifting one of the building's largest beams to the rooftop. And now the problem isn't rain. It's the wind. Weighing in at a whopping 9,000 kilograms, this behemoth must go up 268 meters. Crane accidents alone have claimed an average of 82 lives in the past 10 years in the United States. However, this tower is not the first green skyscraper ever built. The team learns from techniques used by other architects and engineers.
We evolve and make buildings better and better and better. So there's an evolutionary process.
We could not do this if others hadn't been before us.
And the space between the
A key green feature in this building is its use of natural air and green spaces. They want to use it in a new way, based on concepts used by other green skyscrapers. One of the first skyscrapers to use natural airflow in its design is the Commerzbank Tower in Frankfurt, Germany. Built in 1997, it's the third tallest building in Europe. Its use of natural winds and green spaces influenced the green skyscrapers that followed, including One Bryant Park. The Commerzbank's use of natural airflow makes this tower more energy efficient. A central atrium runs up from the lobby, 190 meters to the top of the building. Without a roof to top it off, this shaft acts as a natural ventilator. Winds blow upward through the offices to the people inside. This design created a complex construction challenge. The atrium forced the core support of the building, which is traditionally in the center of the structure, to the outer perimeter. The design keeps the building cooler. The Commerzbank Tower also uses 9 sky gardens, patches of green life that help cool the structure, taking in carbon dioxide and emitting more oxygen.
In one hand, it's the social benefit. Yeah, the gardens are also a place to meet. Somewhere they're the lungs of the building, but on the other hand, they're the social center of it all.
The building is 80% naturally ventilated, saving 30% on energy use.
If you do not have to switch on a machine, that's the most efficient machine. So if you do not need air conditioning, and you can design a building in a way that you don't need this incredibly energy-intensive machine running, that is a major breakthrough.
Richard Cook and his team took these concepts of natural airflow and green spaces a step further. At One Bryant Park, air enters the building at the top floors, then passes it through a giant air filtration system. The skyscraper will not only clean air for itself, it will also clean air for outside areas immediately around it.
And we filter out 95% of the particulate. We supply it to everyone, and when it exits the building, it will be cleaner than when it came in. So you could think of this block of Manhattan operating as a giant air filter for this part of the city as the air exits back out into the city.
Cook also wants to use green roofs at One Bryant Park, just as he's done at his own offices.
In our cities, what happens, there's something called a heat island effect. This roof was 170 degrees last August, hot, bubbling tar beach. And by planting these bags, we radically reduce the temperature of our roof, lowering our own little piece of New York City, lowering its temperature.
The green roof at One Bryant Park will not only keep the roof cooler, it will also serve as one of the collection points for rainwater. Cook and his team want to reuse every drop of rain that hits the building's roof.
We're standing right now, we're standing on top of the 6th floor roof. This is one of the main roof surfaces where we're collecting water. And basically this entire area is going to be covered in a green roof.
When rain hits this roof, it's absorbed by the plants. The excess funnels down into the building. There will be 4 tanks placed on different floors throughout the skyscraper, and 1 in the cellar. This gray water system captures and reuses almost all rainwater and most wastewater, saving over 400 million liters per year, which translates into an annual savings of about $500,000. For Cook's system to be operational, the crew must first get this tank into place. It is the 4th of 5 tanks that need to be installed. Today, the men must lift this 32,000-liter tank into place from the street level to the 41st floor above. It's bulky and weighs 9,000 kilograms. So getting it into the building is a formidable task. It's another risky operation for the crew. The The straps must hold until the tank reaches its destination, over 122 meters above the streets. Up on the 41st floor, the men guide the giant tank from the crane onto the building. But its large size makes that difficult. The men must resort to using basic tools like chains and rope to do the job. Once in place, the gray water storage tanks will hold almost 260,000 liters of water combined. Deep in the building's cellar, Cook's team has installed a unique system that chills water by night to efficiently cool the building by day. 24 meters below the street surface sits the largest collection of cooling tanks in the city. 44 in all. These 7,570-liter tanks freeze 227,000 kilograms of ice each night. By day, this ice helps keep the building cool by feeding the air conditioning system for the entire skyscraper, ensuring that it all stays energy efficient and cost effective. The goal of the One Bryant Park Tower is to reduce energy consumption from the grid by half that of a building of comparable size. But it's an uphill battle because the city keeps getting hotter. Traditional skyscrapers not only use a lot of energy, they also radiate heat into the air.
Urban scientists sometimes use a term called the urban canyons, which is a kind of a version of a natural canyon, although it's man-made. Mostly they add to the heat effect. A couple of the ways is they increase the surface area in a city that's exposed to sunlight. So we have many more times just the area of Manhattan is exposed to sunlight than just the surface area of the island.
The Empire State Building's facade is primarily made of 5,663 cubic meters of limestone and granite. The sheer size of the building also helps to heat up the city.
The Empire State Building, I think I once estimated, has about 40 areas available to absorb sunlight in the morning, during the day, and in the afternoon. And this is a very real effect in terms of cities absorbing more sunlight and causing them to have higher temperatures.
On this 29.5 degrees Celsius day, infrared photography shows surface areas on the Empire State Building, highlighted in dark red, that radiate heat over 38 degrees Celsius.
Just about everything we do tends to add heat to our cities. We're not going to remove buildings. Now, this is
not been designed to address global warming, but that's about to change. Now, a few architects are designing buildings with glass facades that operate more efficiently. Cook wants One Bryant Park's facade to keep interiors cooler. And one of its predecessors does much the same with its modern tower. Key to its efficiency is its use of glass and steel. One of the most distinctive facades in New York stands on 8th Avenue between 56th and 57th Street. At the Hearst Tower, a traditional 86-year-old facade meets the cutting edge in ultra-modern design. Not only is it modern, it's also one of the greenest skyscrapers in existence. The Hearst Tower uses state-of-the-art window technology in its glass facade. Its special glass coating lets visible light through while keeping heat out. Interiors stay cooler and demand less energy for air conditioning. In addition, the glass face allows more natural light to enter office spaces, reducing the need for artificial light and electricity. This facade structure also requires 20% less steel. The new tower's face boasts a unique diagrid design. Each diagrid section spans 4 stories, And each of the triangles carry the gravity load while also providing lateral strength. So beams don't need additional. It's all worth it in the end. With its cooling systems and decreased use of artificial light, the building consumes 26% less energy than a skyscraper of comparable size. Now, One Bryant Park is set to outdo that. Save energy at One Bryant Park by using a state-of-the-art glass window facade. Its special coating allows light to enter while blocking out heat. And engineers took it a step further.
We need to find another way to read glass. It's essentially paint that's baked into the glass. And it's a series of dots that fade from bottom up and from the top down. If we look right here, we can see these dots on the glass. That's the ceramic frit.
The dots are so small, they're hardly visible, but they reflect out the harmful effects of the sun, minimizing heat entry into the building. This keeps building interiors cooler, therefore, less energy is needed for air conditioning. But in order for this facade to be successful, this glass curtain wall must first withstand tough conditions. Windows on other modern skyscrapers have made headlines before, sometimes for the wrong reasons. In 1999, windows from a skyscraper in Chicago came crashing down, taking the life of a young mother. During the construction of the Hancock Tower in Boston in the early 70s, a violent storm blew out at least 63 glass panels, sending them shattering to the streets below. To avoid any catastrophes at One Bryant Park, the facade design is rigorously tested before it's installed. There is even more at stake. Building sustainable skyscrapers costs about 5% more than a conventional structure. At One Bryant Park, that translates into roughly $60 million. For many companies, these additional costs may be the biggest stumbling block against going green.
Right now, a lot of these technologies are expensive. They're